Hey guys, what's up? I'm thinking I'm gonna do some submissions this time around. And then a little bit of co-op. Sorry, I've been having these like really bad coughing fits. And trust me, it's not due to the fact that I smoke weed or anything like that. It's just I've been having these fits where like I'll cough so much that my throat gets like ridiculously dry. And I'll have to like drink something with honey in it. Oh, I hate these little statues. And I mean, you can hear it in my voice the past couple streams of it just getting more gravelier and worse to decipher. Oh. Don't hit me, please. You missed. Sucker. See? That was a terrible shot. That was another terrible shot. I'm not even trying anymore. I'm really surprised that they set this up in a way that they allowed you to do this. Well, if I didn't do that, I'd have excess arrows anyways. I wish I was enough of a weeb that I could yell Hanzo's ultimate from Overwatch, but unfortunately I'm not. I'm not. Ooh. I see. Get fancy with it. Ow! Oh my word. Cheesesteak. Oh, I can actually open this? I was expecting it to say this door is locked by something. I wish I could spin the other direction. People say this game is hard. Oh, geez, a green one. I've never seen one of these. I've only ever seen the fire ones. It looks pretty cool. Green account. Forget, Tongue Man has got moves. Tongue me, dude. Oh my god. Shit. I hate Tongue Man. Goddamn Japanese and their long tongues. Get back into it. Oops. Gotta get the fucking input right, you dumbass. I love how I was doing it well, all up until the point where I tried to do it fast. Still gonna take me a long time to get good at that strike. Nice miss, dude. If you waited like a half a second longer, you would have nailed me.
Do you feel this is harder than the Soulsborne games?
Depends on what challenge is determined by for you. Ow. Tongue man. Oh my god, little head thing. I wanna fucking, why does your bodyguard have to be so fat? He has such a big tongue. I totally forgot I had this. I probably didn't even need to kill that thing. Yeah. Yeah. Figures. I have to go down into the mines. I'd just like to kill everything. Do I feel... Do I personally feel that it's harder than Souls games? I don't have a good enough opinion on it yet, because I'm not even close to being halfway through the game. I don't think anyways. Plus, I play really slowly, so it'll take me a long time to get to that point. But then again, because I play slowly, I tend to be tankier than a lot of people. Or, as a lot of other people would say in the Souls community, over-leveled for everything. But the game gives you so much Amrita and so much resources, I don't understand how you cannot be over-leveled for anything in this game. If you do all the missions and everything, you are gonna be over-leveled. It's just simple as that. Plus, not to mention, there are alternative ways of healing yourself, as I'm showcasing right now. I basically have a life gem right now. Plus, I have, like, multiple other ways of recovering health. Like, my guardian spirit, for example. If I kill an enemy in close combat, in close quarters combat, I'll get 100 health back. And 100 is a good portion of my health. That's what the little, like, light blue 100 is that pops up. Almost got me poisoned. This game definitely takes a mastery of the control scheme. Depending upon how well you actually learn the game will determine how difficult this game is personally how I feel so far. Because it's like, yeah, you can be over-leveled and stuff like that, but that's really not what's going to help you kill a boss. What's gonna help you kill a boss is learning what the boss does, learning how to avoid it, or make whatever effect it has not have much of an effect, like poison or paralysis or something. The game gives you a lot of consumables to deal with things, and I see too many people not using any of their consumables and only having an elixir on their bar. Or having an elixir and then 3 ninjutsu that they only use once in a blue moon. I'm normally always throwing fire bombs. If I see an opportunity to just kill an enemy straight out with one, I'm gonna do it. It's just like the gun thing. I'm gonna shoot an enemy with my gun if the game gives me a chance to, because I get so much freaking ammo for it to begin with. I don't understand why people always get so moody over using stuff the game gives them. If the game gives you it, you should feel free to use it. People forcefully make these games harder than they actually need to ever be because they don't take the time to learn them. And that's not saying I haven't raged at the game either. If you go and look at my streams of the beta, you'd think I was a completely different person playing this most of the time. I get my name from being a salty motherfucker. But where did that... Did I just walk by that? Or did it fall down? I see. Some Indiana Jones nonsense.
What are the red bonfire things?
Oh, the gravestones? These things? These are revenants. This one, okay, this is a great example of something that most people probably wouldn't know. You see how this specific revenant right here, I don't know how good my bitrate is right now, if it's actually visible, but it says crushed to death by sorry if I could speak for a second. I don't even want to try and pronounce it. Nurikabe for his friendly behavior. And what that means is, you see this like wall with eyes over here? You see how these guys, they were both crushed to death for different types of behavior. So what this wall wants you to actually do is, sorry, not grab. Give them a yellow gesture. Normally you'd have to fight the wall to get the wall to go away, but if you observe these things, and sometimes there aren't people here, because a person had to die in order for that to show up, because you can see like the date on it when they died. Like these people died today. Just a little while ago, actually. Like 20 minutes ago they died here. I'll fight one of them. I don't think neither of them have anything that I'll be interested in. Whoop. Didn't mean to do that.
So it's like PvP summons?
No, this isn't a real player. This is a NPC-controlled version of that player's character, made of whatever armor that they were wearing at the time. What the hell? It didn't give me my crit. There we go. It's just like it's basically a blood stain, except for you get to fight whatever they were wearing on them when they died. And you have a chance of getting whatever piece of armor you see around the loop. Or like around the hexagonal thing. Like I just got a slightly better version of the same pants I have. Ambush unit armor. Some of the armor looks really cool in this game, like this Vassal's armor. It looks really awesome when you get a complete set of it.
Is it worth fighting the Revenants? So more grades means the harder the enemy that you're about to fight.
In theory, I guess yes. That brings my toughness down. And I like my hat. But I like my hat. I guess I won't put that on just yet. Because toughness determines your rate of, like, basically getting staggered. So when an enemy hits you, they'll deal key damage to you, not just health damage. They'll take away stamina from you when they hit you as well, even when you're not blocking. And you want high toughness, because toughness is normally an attribute given to you by heavy armor. As you can see, like this, just this heavy piece has more toughness. I mean, I'm already wearing a heavy helmet, and my helmet's pretty good, but just for comparison, the different toughnesses matter. Not necessarily just the defensive multiplier, which gets applied to your defense stat right here. Where it shows like defense and then the toughness, and then the color of your toughness determines how tough you are, I guess. Like green is mid-range, yellow is low toughness, and then blue is high toughness. So if I were to equip all heavy things right now, you see how the toughness number on that item card changed to 203 and it's blue colored? That means I'm more resistant to staggers and I have more like super armor when I attack and stuff like that, especially with heavier weapons. But I like to stay below 70, so that's what I normally do anyways. And set bonuses are also a thing as well, like this. Oh. I wanted to see where the Tiger Sprint skill was located. Right there. I want that eventually. I want to become the warrior of the West. That has Kodama sense on it, so I'm gonna keep it. you can lock certain pieces of armor, so when you go back to the shrine to get rid of your items, or go to a blacksmith to sell, or go to the blacksmith to sell your items.
Still on the fence about this game, many reviews say the controls are really involved as well as all the stats leveling process, plus IN.
Oh yeah, I mean, this game is definitely a JRPG with way better controls than any JRPG has had up until this point. If you're comparing it to stuff like, and I guess Onimusha, would you consider Onimusha JRPG? It doesn't have nearly as many RPG elements as this game has in it, because this game has the Diablo style of loot system. It has these kinds of, like, you'll eventually get them sort of skill trees where as you level up and complete more missions, you'll get better variants of skills. And you can customize the skills, so sort of like a fighting game, you can choose what skill you want to be into a certain slot when you do that skill in a specific stance. Like, these universal abilities will be done in any stance, but any ability that you learn for specific stances will be swapped out with other ones. And then it has stuff like this, where if you've ever played Borderlands 2...
I beat all 3 Souls and Bloodborne with no prog but never played any RPGs really, so it all looks complicated.
It is a little bit complicated at, like, first glance. If you're just looking at this and you're going like, there are so many things that need to be explained, but, I mean, if you really want stuff explained, all you need to do is just press the options button, and it'll tell you, for the most part, what something does with a decent explanation. There are some things that aren't exactly explained, like status effects aren't explained well, and a couple other things. But most of it's straightforward, and if it wasn't for the fact I'm mid-level right now, I'd show you the level select screen.
That's exactly how I feel looking at it.
The game does a good way of slowly introducing you to a lot of these concepts, though. Because you start out the game without the ability to, like, switch stances or stuff like that. The game basically starts out as Dark Souls with a different control scheme. And then, once you get out of the beginning area, the game has 3 layers of tutorial. I'm not even joking. This is one of the things about the game that people are saying is a little overbearing, even though it probably is needed, because most people still don't learn the controls well enough after the 3 layers of tutorial. So even though you might think you don't want more tutorial, when it gives you the option to do more tutorial missions, do the tutorial missions and stuff like that, because they are helpful. Especially for new players who aren't used to games of this type, because it's not that it has a bunch of different concepts that are going on. If you look at this screen should look pretty similar to you like a Dark Souls game, because it pretty much is. It pretty much is the same screen, because Dark Souls is just a simplified JRPG. It's... I don't want to say a dumbed-down JRPG, it just doesn't have a lot of JRPG elements that are in a lot of other games besides its stats. But this game also has a lot of other stuff. This is, like, for example, this is all of the stuff that is going on my character at once. And again, it might seem like this is a bunch of complicated, nonsensical bullshit, and some would say it is. And a lot of it isn't necessary, but if you want a game to have replayability because you can play through it the first time and you don't even need to really look at the armor or anything like that. You don't need to look at every single piece of armor and look at every single status effect. Just equip the stuff that says it's stronger than another thing and you should do good, because most of these effects, most of them anyways,
Is there magic attacks or spells in this game?
There's what's called Nioh magic, which doesn't allow you to necessarily focus on magic, but it allows you to like cast talismans, I guess is what you would say. Like the shit. The healing amulet I was using earlier is a great example. That's one of the magic, because you see, this is the magic skill tree right here. Because you're never going to be completely 100% magic, but you can get stuff like this, which allow you to shoot different kinds of projectiles of different elements, and you can learn multiple ones at a time and have multiple ones equipped as well at a time. And there's a bunch of different types of stuff. There's passives as well, as you would assume. And the one thing that's great about this game is if you don't understand an explanation, a lot of the skills have these visual movies, which allow you to understand how a certain talisman works. See, like that one, the shockwave only happens when you key pulse. That's the rejuvenation talisman. These are the two ones that I've learned right here. These kinds of things. These are really good with certain guardian spirits. I have the shark right now, which isn't really good with those talismans. Just because the shark spins, it doesn't go in a straight line, it like spins around. It's good if you're surrounded by enemies. It's not good if you want to hit something that's in front of you. These guys are immune to earth damage.
Was watching Epic Nametro's stream last night and even he was overwhelmed with the crafting and trees, layers upon layers.
Yeah, but like I said, if you just want to play the game, none of that matters. For all intents and purposes, this is just Diablo with a weird control scheme. That's basically what it is. It's a dungeon crawler. The missions, the environments, and a lot of things are set up like a dungeon crawler. The only thing that's different is you have a roof over your head instead of looking down on your character like this. And you have, of course, the Souls control schemes, but everyone who keeps saying this game is like a Souls game, they only do the game a disservice, because the game has a lot more that's going for it. Because this game will definitely still be playable by a person 100 times over just because of how the combat is. Dang it. Shit. Dark Souls trap, right there. Because that's totally a Dark Souls thing, right? A trap in a wall? That totally didn't come from any other game.
Like the materials and re-rolling and increasing chances of getting different things looked intimidating.
Oh yeah, I've been saving up stuff for when I'm higher level. I have 24 of the highest quality. Tamahagane. I've been saving up. There's a bunch of stuff you can do. It's basically so there's something that isn't just the combat you can do. Because some people are just into loot whoring. If you really like loot whoring in a video game, this is the game to do it. Because you can just make your perfect weapon, pretty much. With the element type and the status effects of your choice. And the same thing with your armor. You can basically make whatever the fuck you want. So. And get whatever you want. There's a lot of options. And I don't mind having all these options. There are some people who are saying it's too much, but I just can't agree with that. If anything, I'd want this game to have more, just so I could replay it even more. The DLC and the more things that this game gets will only make people want to play it more and more. This will definitely be one of those, like, 300-hour plus games for most people easily, if not 1,000. This will definitely be probably my next 1,000-hour game, just because I'm gonna spend so much time vegging out playing it. Oh my god, I just got fucked. I've never done this level before. Gotta wait for Pyramid Head to walk down here. Is he? Destroy it, dude. Got a jet. This level has so many layers. It's like an ogre. I'll take one of those back.
How do you know which bosses are immune strong to certain elements? Do you have to look it up like Dark Souls? Thing I hated about DS or is.
Why do you think a game should tell you what an enemy is weak to? If you were a person walking around, would you intuitively know that something is weak to something? You'd have to figure that out for yourself. How would you know that you're weak to AIDS unless somebody else got AIDS before you? Is my point. Like, I mean, I can understand being mad at a game for not knowing exactly what's going on.
True.
But in my mind, I don't really think that's a valid, like, criticism. You should always have to try new things. Like the statue enemy. How I figure out if he is immune to an element, I hit him with an element, and look, the damage number says 0. 0 earth damage from me hitting him with this earth weapon. So what do? Swap to my lightning weapon, which still does damage to him. That's just, you just figure that out. It's just you experiment with things. That's part of the game. You get so many different things to experiment with in the first place. It's ridiculous how much this game actually gives you. Like stuff like this spear right here. Life recovery by grapple. So that means anytime you hit an enemy that's out of key and you do the grapple like finisher move, you'll get 105 health back. And that's a skill that you can randomize into when you're working on something at the blacksmith as well. So you can make like the super perfect weapon with all the stats that you want on it. Because I haven't done any of that. I haven't really reforged that much at all. Just because I'm going to wait until I'm higher level, and it takes me a little bit more
Is key basically stamina?
Yes, your key is your stamina. That's what key pulsing is. Key pulsing, if you've ever played Gears of War, and you've probably already heard other people say this before, key pulsing in this game is a lot like the active reload system in Gears of War, where if you time it right, you go faster, pretty much. Or in this case, you get all your key back. Even if you reflect off of a wall, like you just saw. It's not always good to wait for a full key pulse, though, because there might be an enemy that's attacking you and you just want to dodge away fast, because you can also key pulse with your dodges, but that's a skill you have to learn in the skill tree. But the cool thing is, once you learn the skill for each of the stances, it applies to all other weapons, so you don't have to learn it for each separate weapon type. As long as you learn the key pulse while dodging for one weapon type, you learn it for all the other weapon types.
Can you fight a boss so I can see some advanced combat?
I mean, I think that's what we're coming up to right here. I don't know, though. Oh, no, never mind. This is a tough enemy. Tongue man. Tongue man.
Did you fight the octopus boss yet? People have said how hard it was.
I don't think there's a boss of this level, because this is a submission. Because I was just doing one of the submissions, which they normally don't end with a boss. They normally just end with you killing a really hard enemy. I can do some co-op, though, because I don't want to just run through one of the lower level missions to kill a boss unless you want me to. I can run through, like, the first mission and kill the first boss super fast if you want. I'll see if co-op wants to work for me. Most of the time, there's always someone who needs my help. It's normally a boss fight, too, so... Oh, it's one of the hard bosses as well. Or at least one of the bosses that a lot of people struggle on. The Batgirl. The vampire Batgirl or whatever. Oh, never mind, the guy died. Either the guy died or my internet is shit. Could be both. Sometimes it works first try, sometimes it doesn't. Sometimes it'll make me have to reconnect like 6 times before I can get someone. It's not even that the connection's bad. I just have bad internet bandwidth. So, in order to stream at the shitty quality that I do, I pretty much have to sacrifice all the
What
rest
does
of
the
my
J in
internet.
JRPG mean?
The J in JRPG, it means Japan. It normally means it comes from Japan or is stylized in such a way. And just the style of games. JRPGs are normally known to be much more complicated than a normal RPG like, say, Skyrim, for instance. Skyrim is a normal RPG. I love that jump gesture. This area always has a lot of lag issues. If you're seeing frame rate lag, it's the game, not my internet, just so you know. This area on a stock PlayStation 4 has frame rate issues because of all the statues. It can't handle two Williams really close together. Oh geez, it's giving me the internet quality warning. So maybe it is my internet. They have fucking footballer arms. Did the wrong one, dude. You wanted a blue one, I think, if I remember right. Unless it's randomized.
Never got into RPGs like Mass Effect, Skyrim, Fable, never played Borderlands either. The Souls series were my only brush with RPGs.
Oh, well, that's a weird one, because they have that game has a huge lack of a lot of the stuff normal RPGs have in it. really weird to say that, but it does in contrast to a lot of other JRPGs, because Dark Souls technically is a JRPG. I need to use that more. Damn it.
It looks like locking onto the enemy is a lot more important than it is in Soulsborne games.
Yes, but it is not needed. It just helps with making your attacks not be slightly off position, but you can absolutely kill things without locking on. Oh shit, he summoned a guy. Whoops. I'm not used to having to direct my attacks. That's just the only thing is the lock-on in this game works better than it does in Dark Souls, so there's more of a reason to use it. Whereas lock-on in certain situations in Dark Souls just makes the camera act really fucking weird. In this game, it really helps, even in tight corridors. Because I don't know if you've noticed, but they did a really smart thing with terrain in this game, where if the camera's colliding with terrain, it sort of, I don't know how it does it, but it like positions itself in such a way where there's still a portion of the screen for you to see what's going on. You're not blocked nearly as much. Fucker. That's for hitting me. What the fuck? What? Those are this game's equivalent of mimics. And if you mimic the mimic, when a mimic pops out of the mimic chest, it changes into a version of you. So it basically mimics your body and then does a gesture. And if you mimic the gesture, then you get all the items. You cocknoblin. I'll use some of my magic. Oh my god. Oh, a kappa. I don't know, this game just feels better to me than playing... not necessarily than playing
Is a
Dark
kappa
Souls.
like a crystal lizard?
Yes. And they are actually called kappas. Oh, you can actually walk by that button without pressing it? I didn't even know that. We're both assholes.
Is the game pronounced Nioh or Nioh?
It's pronounced Nioh. Because eyes, when you're speaking Japanese, when you're reading a word that's supposed to be Japanese, eyes are normally pronounced E. Pronounced with a hard E sound. So like EI quick draw is what this is called. That's called an EI quick draw. Hold on, I'll show you. EI quick draw, see. So normally when you see an I in a Japanese word, it's pronounced as an E, unless it's next to an E. And then I don't know how to pronounce it, because I'm not weeb. I'm not as weeb as a lot of people would think. I just happen to pay attention and read stuff. This game is definitely not for casuals, but as you can see, you can always just summon someone and they'll help you through the game pretty much. I like how there's not even a door opening animation if you're co-oping with someone. It just slams open. Oh, did you want to take him? That's a mechanic in this game you also have to worry about that's different than Dark Souls. Is running out of key in this game actually matters. Because if you get hit when you're out of key, your character will start to take a breather, literally start to go like, and can be hit and critical striked by other human enemies. So you can be absolutely fucked by that if you're not careful. And this is where you meet the first waifu. The funny thing is, I can actually activate that door. I don't want to, just because I don't want to be a dick about it, but...
Do weapons degrade and have to be repaired like in Souls?
No. They were originally going to do that. If you go and look at alpha footage of the game, the alpha, you had to repair your weapon like every couple seconds with a whetstone. But they eventually scrapped the durability system in favor of a system called familiarity, which is when you, the more you use a weapon, the better it will actually get. So sticking with a weapon will actually make that weapon better. Not infinitely, but up to a certain point, of course. That's also something this game has that Dark Souls doesn't have, is the living weapon mechanic. Which is basically the turn around most fights button.
What is the blue whale spell?
What do you mean? Oh, blue whale spell. It's a shark. It's a shark, and it's not a spell. It's what's called your living weapon. Oh shit, 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 shit. Don't die, dude. Don't fucking die. Damn it, dude. You pulled him out of my firebomb. But you see the little icon in the upper left-hand corner? That would be where your Covenant or Humanity icon would be in Dark Souls. That's called your living weapon, Amrita Gauge. The Amrita Gauge fills up as you kill enemies. And once it gets full, you can press circle and triangle together to do the living weapon, which the living weapon superpowers your regular attacks, and then gives you the ability to press the same circle and triangle buttons again to launch a special attack with that. The bowl's special attack is really good, because your guardian spirit is what determines your living weapon. I'll show you next time we go back to the starting menu after this fight.
So it's kind of like Wrath of the Gods in God of War?
Sort of, yeah. It makes you invulnerable to damage for a set period of time. You still have to not take damage though, because if you take damage, it decreases the amount of time you get to use it. And if you get hit out of it, if you get hit as the last little bit, it will stagger you when you get out of it, so you have to be careful. God damn it, Tachibana fuckstick. Damn it. Damn it.
Are there parries and backstabs or no?
Yes. There isn't backstabs in combat, but you can like stealth backstab a person. Like I can't just walk up behind him and backstab him right now, if that's what you're asking. Dude, he just pulled him out of my fucking crit. What an idiot. Yes.
So a crit is like a visceral attack in Bloodburn?
Sort of, yeah, but you can only do it when a person is out of key and they're breathing. Like you saw how when I went to do it, my lock-on reticule went red-colored for a second. When the reticule goes red and you press the heavy attack button, you'll do like a critical strike, which will do extra damage to them and make you invulnerable for a couple seconds, sort of like a riposte does in Dark Souls. Or a visceral attack. Both work. I got a lot of Amrita. I just realized 111,000. But I'll show you what I was talking about. This is what influences what type of living weapon you have. All of these vary on their abilities and what they do, and you need spirit to access their abilities. Like if I had base level spirit right now, because I don't have...
Is Amrita the upgrade currency?
Yes. Amrita is what you use to level up, pretty much exclusively. And then you use gold for like stuff at the blacksmith. But I'm guessing you've already seen a lot of this stuff from someone else doing it. Kabuto water axe. I'll save it. Got these pickaxes as well. I'll throw that one away and I'll keep that one. Ooh, I didn't know I got a Warrior of the West bow. I'll equip that in my other slot. Oh wait, what one?
Our weapon class is more rigid in this game, like certain things are dex weapons versus strength weapons versus magic weapons.
Yes, you can see that on the title card, or not the title card, but the item card of any of these weapons, where it says like change to attack, body, strength, skill, and it can actually vary on certain different types of spears, or a weapon within a class, but normally not that much. Most of the time it's pretty much the same. Like sometimes one scaling will be a little bit less than another. But for the most part, they seem to... Like, you see these dual katanas are a good example. The dual uchi katanas versus the tachis. The tachis scale better with heart, whereas the uchi katana scale better with strength and stuff like that. And then there are some weapons which can also get modifiers on the weapon itself that change its attack. Like as you see on my lightning sword that you've been seeing me use, it has a change to attack modifier that modifies it with spirit. So if I level up spirit, it'll also scale with that stat as well. And that can also apply for other stats like dexterity and spirit, I believe, as well. Oh, I think the bow was the thing I was going to sell that has max familiarity, right? Yeah. It was the bow. I'll save that and I'll meld its stats in with another bow. See, like this one even, you get defense scaling with spirit from this piece of armor and stuff like that. This piece of armor allows you to sense enemies on your map.
Are invasions a thing in this game?
No, not as far as I know. PvP is something that's going to be coming to the game later in a free update. It's not in the game currently. Need to go and upgrade all them things that I just, or not upgrade, but level them up to the next quality for when I eventually decide to spend most of these blacksmith materials. There. Now I'm gonna level up a little bit. I think I wanted to put some more points into stamina so I could wield some heavier armor. Or have heavier armor on. Fuck it.
The lore and story don't seem to be as rich as Souls, nor does the level design.
Well, I mean, this game actually has a story that's given to you. So, I mean... And it's given to you over the course of, like, 80 levels. You've seen, like, a micro portion of it. And it's not like this game doesn't have explanations for what things are, like Souls games. It's just that this game, they had to use people from real history and make a story out of it with an original character that was also a historical person. Because the person you play as is a real person in history. The same thing with most of the characters you meet in the game. Give or take a couple, like one of the girl characters isn't a real person and stuff like that. I don't know. If you're playing this game, again, and it's the same way I feel about Souls. If you're playing the game looking for story, you're looking for the wrong game. The games were never intended to be story games. Literally, the community turned them into story games.
Ah, that makes sense. ... So what's the basic story? Please don't tell me you have to fight for some chick's honor or bullshit.
No, what you are... I mean, I guess you could say it's some chick's honor, but it's technically not. Because originally, they didn't use the original, like, true historic story. They, of course, wanted to make it so they could base a game around it. And William was a pirate. He was an English pirate, and he was cast out to get Amrita for the Queen of England, so that she could make extremely powerful troops with the Amrita to fight against the Spanish Armada, because Spain was incredibly strong at this point in history. So, William, as one of the pirates, learned the secret about what these stones, known as Amrita, could do. And so, William was imprisoned in the... what the hell is it called? The London Tower built by... I can't remember the intro card to the game. Doing a really piss poor job of having a good memory. But basically, William was a pirate. He learned the secret about what Amrita could really do to make a person stronger. So they imprisoned him in a cell, and his guardian spirit told him that death is coming for him regardless. Well, I wouldn't necessarily say his guardian spirit told him, but basically he's either just going to sit and rot and die in the jail cell, or he can get up and do something about it. And that's where the game starts. The game starts with him, like, standing up in the prison cell, and you, like, punching your way out of the prison cell and shit. Like I said, the game doesn't even start you out in Japan with all the Japanese stuff. Originally, the game starts you out with, like, broadswords and shit like that. Or bastard swords, as the game calls it. If I go to the blacksmith, I can actually refashion my Raikiri into a bastard sword. Let's do that. There, now my Raikiri is an electric bastard sword. Oh yeah, I figure I should show you the like jutsu mechanics, even though my character doesn't have much about it. So it's like, you can learn different things from throwing shurikens and shit like that. kunai. You can throw explosives, which I already have unlocked. Ooh, I can unlock the next level of explosive as well. And then what you do to ready them so you can use them, because they regenerate each time you go back to the shrine. So it's like now I can equip a kunai and 2 of the better fire bombs. And that'll just act like an item that replenishes every time you go back to what basically would be a bonfire. And it's like this as well. This is what I was talking about with the tutorial. All of these are very useful to learn. They're a little bit confusing at first to do, but they're useful to learn, and they're sort of something you have to do. I didn't know that you had to do them, but you have to do them to unlock, like, the different stances and stuff like... Or not the different stances. The different levels of abilities in this, like the 1 tier and the 2 tier and the 3 tier. Up here at the top, like if you look right above where I'm selected right now, you notice how it's like 1 petal, 2 petals, 3 petals, and then a full flower at the right. And you have to do those training missions as you see. Cleared mission, Way of the Warrior Novice, in order to get these. Like I said, the best thing about all these abilities is they all have visual stuff, so you can know exactly what it's going to do. I want to get the life boost, though. Yeah. I haven't used a single axe, but the life plus 100 interested me, so I went down the axe tree to get that. Because certain weapons have their own unique effect that they give you for passives. Like the axe gives you health for a passive ability in its skill tree, where the Kusarigama, I believe, gives you increased damage of your final blows.
The 3 stances seem to make fighting more complicated. ... How do you know which one to use, and is it easy to switch between them in mid-com?
Yes. You're actually influenced to switch stances mid-combat, unless you need to dodge. Like, see, increases key recovery when you switch stances. I don't know, it's something that's definitely not easy, but the more, if you overthink it, you're gonna make it harder for yourself at first. The best way to look at it, because the game doesn't really explain it well, the game says high stance is for attack power, mid is for defense, and low is for dodging, which is true most of the time, but the thing it doesn't say is that high stance attacks are not blockable. So when you are attacked, or they're blockable, but they're not deflectable. So when you're hitting an enemy with your high stance attacks, you have a much higher chance of breaking their guard, so you can do the like grapple attack that does a lot of damage. Oh wait, my bastard sword, it doesn't shine with electricity like the katana does.
So then what's the trade-off? Do high stance attacks require more stamina?
Yes, and they do more damage. Like a high stance attack is a higher damage attack. But the thing it's best for is breaking guard, or in the case of an Oni, like these guys over here, these Yoki, the basic Yoki can be stunned pretty easily. I like how I can do a draw strike with an English sword. Because it's just a cosmetic thing. The sword is still the same sword. Ooh. Fuck, I hate that attack so much. That was a bad throw. God damn it. Well, there goes both my fire bombs.
She's susceptible to fire instead of lightning.
I just wanted to see if I could get her set on fire. Ow, that attack. Damn it, I didn't keep pulse. Got her. The sound effect just keeps going.
What was that purple thing you threw on yourself?
My health regen. I threw a health regen, a rejuvenation talisman, I should say. That's what they're called in the game anyways. It's this one right here. Then I have this one too for healing people, but most people don't stand still long enough for me to heal them. Because this one heals much more rapidly, but heals in a circle, so it heals other people as well. It's a good co-op thing. But I need to be right back 1 second, man. I need to go to the bathroom and shit. Sorry. I'll be right back. Alright, I'm back. Oh, shit. My earpiece fell out of my ear. That's what I get for having oddly shaped elf ears. If it's not my hair, like, getting stuck on the microphone, it's my oddly shaped ear and the earpiece falling out of it. Sorry. Excuse me. Razor Wolf.
LOL.
Oh yeah. This level is hard as hell to... Wait. How the hell? How the what? I have no idea where he is. Gotcha. Is there any water on the ground? Oh, I guess there is. Never mind. Oh, great. Statue room. Those enemies are cool, because when you kill those little skull enemies, it gives your weapon a buff for a temporary amount of time. Hello, Pyramid Head. Hemorrhogi branch? Hemorrhogi. Jinjo! Oh. I love that. There's so many things in this game you can just break. Oh! I almost dodged right into that swing. That's out. Didn't dodge that one. These are like the Cathedral Knights in Dark Souls 3, except slowed down about 3 times. They have the spinning attack and the vertical attack. It's all the attacks that matter. Get over here. No, you're supposed to press circle on it, you dingus. You dingus. You're so dumb, dude. Press circle on that. Press circle. Are you fucking... You're retarded. I swear. And then I lost connection with host.